and welcome back to this yoga journey. Thanks for joining me on our third class. Today our theme will be roots. And so we're going to really start to think about rooting down, finding our center, and really connecting to the space around us and those around us. So if this is your first time joining me, or if you need a reminder, I recommend having the short edge of your yoga mat facing the computer screen so you can face me and look towards the screen. I have my long edge towards the camera so that you can see it a little bit better, but like I said, I recommend your short edge facing the screen. So we'll start in a seated position. Again, that can be on a cushion with hips raised. It can be kneeling if that's comfortable. You can use a chair if that's more comfortable for you as well. And we'll do a short meditation, a short visualization meditation with our eyes closed. So as you're ready, find your comfortable seat. Check your alignment. Try to imagine that a string is pulling the top of the head towards the ceiling. And just take a couple minutes to breathe and just notice your breath. Don't really need to do anything, just breathe. Follow the inhales and the exhales. When the mind wanders, bring it back to the breath. For today's visualization, we're going to imagine that we have roots growing out of the back of our spine down into the earth. So on an exhale, the roots grow deeper into the earth. Then on inhale, they pull the nutrients up into our body and we're nourished by the breath. And then we exhale, the roots grow deeper. And they inhale, drawing nutrients up to the earth, connection to the earth and the body. Exhale, growing deeper. Continuing this visualization, you can imagine if you're sitting in a chair or whatever comfortable position you're in, that the roots grow from whatever is in contact with the earth or the floor. Exhale, grows deeper. Inhale, pulls nutrient in. Again, if the mind wanders, return it to the breath, return it to the visualization. Exhale, roots grow deeper. Inhale, pulls nutrients up. As we continue this yoga practice today, I encourage you to maintain this sense of groundedness, rootedness, and connectedness. As we move through our postures, I'll remind us to go back to our roots, and I encourage you to cultivate a sense of ease in all of the postures today. Slowly blinking the eyes open, keeping a soft gaze. Inhale, hands to heart center. And then we'll start with the side bend. Bringing the left arm down, right arm overhead. Your gaze can be down at the floor, out in front, or towards the ceiling. Finding a gentle stretch in the right side body. Take a few breaths here. Coming back up to center. And then taking here a gentle twist towards your left side. When we twist, we want it to come from core strength. We use the left hand to kind of kickstand up so we keep a straight spine. And on inhales, we envision that the crown of the head is pulled towards the ceiling, and on exhales, we twist a little deeper. Unwind on an inhale, rooting the right hand down, bringing the left arm up overhead for a left side body stretch. Again, gaze can be at the floor, out front, or towards the ceiling if that's comfortable with your neck. Continuing to breathe. Coming back up towards center on an inhale, and twisting on an exhale. Kickstanding the right arm to help maintain a straight spine. Inhale draws the crown of the head up, and exhale twists a little bit deeper. Inhaling back to center. Take a couple breaths here. And then coming forward into tabletop position with hands under shoulders. Anytime in yoga, when we are putting weight onto our hands, it's best to distribute the weight throughout the palm. And when doing that, we try to keep the weight out of the center of the wrist. That can cause wrist pain for a lot of us. And so we like to keep it kind of in this, imagine that you're rooting down through the center of your palm. And I like to even pull on the earth with my hands. So it's like I'm pulling this way, engaging this side of my, the underside of my arms, and almost putting weight out into the fingertips to really actively engage the full hand. So I'd like us to start doing that now. When you plant your hands down, try to feel that the hand has weight evenly distributed out throughout the entire palm. And then even pull a little bit, as if you were to pull your mat up. But we're not going to. We're going to put weight and pull in a little bit. And find a strong tabletop position. From here, we'll do some cat-cow. Inhaling up towards the side. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling up. Exhale. Like always, finding some time to take some intuitive motions, whatever feels good in your body. Bringing motion to the spine. forwards and backwards. Barrel rolls one way and the other. Finally, coming forward once. And then with knees spread wide, exhaling into a devotional pose. We want knees wide, feet in towards one another, and arms out. Throughout today's practice, this pose, devotional pose, will be a resting pose. So if at any point you're out of breath, I encourage you to take a sip of water and come here and take a few breaths here to feel a sense of groundedness if the class is ever too intense. From here, inhaling back into our tabletop position again, engaging the full palms, and then tucking the toes. Take an inhale and exhale back into downward facing dog. And we'll take a second to pedal out the dog, bending one knee, keeping one leg straight, and then the other. Bringing motion into the back side of the body. Again, here, this is a pose where we want to make sure the weight is distributed evenly throughout the palm, and it's not all just going into the base of the wrist. From here, we'll slowly walk the feet up to meet the hands at the front of your mat in a forward fold. Keeping a nice gentle bend in the back of the knees, or even a strong deep bend to really bring the stretch and the relief into the back body. You can let your hands hang down or even clasp each elbow, making ragdoll arms. Exhale, release the arms down. Inhale, halfway lift, taking a flat back as if you're making a breakfast table. Exhale, fold again, and then inhale all the way up, bringing arms overhead, and exhale to heart center. You want legs or feet about hips width apart, directly under knees, under hips, ankles under knees. Slight micro bend in the knees in a strong mountain pose. Take a few breaths here. From here, we'll inhale, arms overhead, and exhale, sit down into a chair pose. So when we go into chair pose, keeping a sense of grounding through the heels, and arms can be at heart center, they can be overhead, they can be at airplane, wherever is most comfortable for you. You can try lifting the toes a little bit, see if you can wiggle them. Feel that challenge. Feeling the body start to warm up, remembering to breathe. Inhaling up. Exhaling cactus arms, keeping the belly engaged, keeping the core engaged to protect the spine. Inhaling up. Exhale, chair pose again. Again, hands at heart center, up overhead, or airplane. Lift your toes for just a second again. Feel the heat starting to build. Feel your strength. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus. Again, keeping core engaged. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, swan dive forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then plant your palms down and slowly walk your feet back into a plank position. So anytime we're in a plank position, you have the option to lower your knees down, to take the weight off if that's too much on your wrist. But anytime we're here, when we lower down, you want to lower down with your elbows close to your body. Lowering all the way down to the belly. And from here we'll find a baby cobra where we plant the hands under shoulders without using too much weight. We'll inhale and lift. And come in and float the hands. A couple breaths here. Exhaling down. And then when we push up, you can push up with your knees grounded or with your knees lifted. And then pushing back into downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky behind you. And three-legged down dog, take a breath here, inhale. And exhale, step your knee through. Or step your foot through so that you're in a lunge. And then inhale, bring your arms up overhead into crescent lunge. In crescent lunge, we want our feet in separate lanes, both of them squared forward towards the front edge of your mat. And then twisting the left heel down towards the earth into warrior two. We want front heel to back arch alignment. So now they're in one line. I have my hips squared to the side of the mat, and I bring arms to T. So if I'm facing you, it looks like this. You can see that I'm in one line the whole way through. Taking a couple breaths here, your gaze can be along with your shoulders, or it can be out over your extended right hand. From here, we'll move into side angle. Begin on an inhale, and then exhale, bringing right elbow to right knee, left arm overhead. Take a couple breaths here, an extended side angle. And if it's accessible, you're welcome to bring your right arm towards the mat without putting too much pressure on there. You want your core to be holding you. You don't want to be collapsing into the pose. You want to be able to hold yourself using core strength. If you have a block or anything, this would be a good place to use the block to help hold that weight a little bit more. Inhale here, exhale. And on inhale, coming back to center. Take a couple breaths. Inhale. And exhale into exalted warrior, bringing left fingers down the side of the left leg, not putting pressure in them. You should be able to float them. And then bringing right arm overhead. Your gaze can be towards the floor or up towards the palm over the head. Here we would still want to maintain an engagement with the legs. So we don't want to come back up out of it. We want to keep the right knee bent. Taking a couple breaths here. Inhaling back to warrior two. Inhale again. And exhale, windmill both arms to frame the front foot. And then exhale, stepping back into a plank pose. Inhale, and then exhale, lower yourself down. From here, we'll take a modified locust pose. Bringing the hands beside the body. Inhale, lift the chest up, lift the arms. Exhale, lift the legs. Take a couple breaths like this. You can feel the full back engaged. Exhale, release. Bring hands back under shoulders. Inhale, and on an exhale, lift back up into plank. Inhale, and then exhale into downward facing dog. Again, if at any point you feel like taking a breather, you are welcome to, and you can go into devotional pose instead of downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, lift your left leg now towards the ceiling in three-legged dog. And exhale, step through the hands to come into a lunge. Inhaling, arms overhead. The crescent lunge on the left side. And here, in crescent lunge, my feet are in separate lanes. Hips squared towards the short edge of the mat. Arms can be overhead or heart center. Taking an inhale here. Exhale. Then on inhale, twisting the right foot down into warrior two. Again, here we want front heel, that's left heel to back arch alignment. And so my right foot is now pointing towards the side, my left foot forward. And then inhaling, arms to T. Gaze can be in front of you or out over your extended left hand. Take a couple breaths here. Feeling the strength of warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. You can inhale, and then on an exhale, moving into an extended side angle. Bringing first your left elbow down to your left knee. Bring your right arm overhead. Again, gaze can be floor in front or towards the ceiling. I like to imagine that there's one line going from the outside of my right foot up my body and straight out my arms. There's one line. It's not curved. I'm not at any extreme angles. If you can, you want to be one line. And then if it's accessible, you can reach down towards the floor. Again, this is a good place where a prop or a block could be helpful. But we want most of the weight to be carried by the core. Inhaling back up to center. Exhale. And then inhale into exalted warrior, bringing the right hand down the back of the right leg. Not putting too much pressure on the hand, on the back hand. And then bring left arm overhead. Keeping the left knee bent. Keeping the legs engaged. Remembering to breathe. And then inhale, arms back to center. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, windmill the arms down to frame the front leg. Step the left leg back into a plank pose. And then exhale down to your belly. From here, we now know a few different back bends, and I encourage you to go whichever one is most comfortable or calling to you the most. Maybe it's baby cobra. Maybe it's locust. Go to whichever one feels best for you and do a few breaths there. And then exhale to lift and meet in downward facing dog. For the rest of the practice, at the end of each flow sequence, I'll say you can do the vinyasa of your choice, and that will consist of the plank pose, moving down into the back bend of your choice, and then always being downward facing dog. So kind of a choose your own adventure story here. From downward facing dog, walking feet to meet hands at the front of the mat in a forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, arms all the way overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a couple breaths in mountain pose. So this next pose or exercise is one of my favorites for strengthening my back. For those of us who spend a lot of time on computer, we often get hunched over and it's easy for us to lose sight of our posture. So this next exercise is really focused to strengthen the strap-like muscles that run the length of the spine. And this can be kind of tricky, and I encourage you to first bend your mat or use a towel or fold over your mat several times until you have a thick cushion that you can put your knees or your heels under, maybe 2 or 3 inches, 6 or 7 centimeters. And from here, what we'll do is we'll bring the arms overhead, you can't see them, and we're going to squat all the way down, keeping the heels grounded and the back upright as much as possible. As you squat down, you'll feel the back muscles engage, and the tendency is to want to come forward, and that's okay, that's natural. But we're going to try to stay as straight up and down as possible. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo. Take a couple twists. Release the back a little bit. We just did 5. Now we'll do 5 more. Arms up overhead and squat. 1. Good work, everybody. Couple bear twists to release. That is one exercise I highly encourage to do regularly to help build up that back strength. And eventually, I am not quite there yet, you'll be able to do the full squat with your arms straight up overhead and heels fully grounded. So from here, we'll inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, release, swan dive forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And then slowly walk the feet back into a plank pose. Exhale down into your vinyasa, back bend of your choice. Feeling those back muscles engaged. And then here, all of us pushing back, knees together into child's pose. So knees together, arms by the side, forehead on the mat. Inhale deeply into the center of the spine, into the back, to help bring space into all the discs in the vertebrae. Take a few breaths here. If you want to get some water, now is a good time to do so. Otherwise, try to reconnect to that sense of rootedness, that sense of grounding that we cultivated at the beginning of class. from wherever you are, coming up to a table pose. Finding again that proper wrist and hand placement. We want the full hand engaging, pulling the mat towards us just a little bit. Just that engaging motion will really help distribute the weight throughout the hand. Curl the toes under, take an inhale, and exhale back into downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here, maybe pedal out the dog again. And then inhale the right leg towards the sky, three-legged dog, and exhale to step through into a lunge. Inhaling up into crescent lunge. Exhaling open into Virabhadrasana 2. Taking a couple breaths here. Okay, in this next part, we're going to do a little bit of flow. So we'll always use an inhale to return to Virabhadrasana 2, which is what we're in right now, Warrior 2. So we'll inhale, exhale into side angle, not going very deep. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, exalted. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale. And we'll continue this a few times. Trying to maintain a sense of rootedness, a sense of groundedness, even during intense moments, even when a lot of our body is flowing. Imagine that we're still rooted, we're still grounded. One more round. Exhaling into side angle. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling into exalted. Inhaling back into Warrior 2, and then exhaling, windmill down, framing the front leg. Exhale, step it back into a plank pose. And then lowering yourself all the way down, back bend of your choice in your vinyasa. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. Preparing for the other side. Inhale, left leg towards the ceiling this time. Exhale, left leg steps through between the hands. Inhale, up into crescent lunge. Exhale, opens into Warrior 2. Take a couple breaths here. Feel that rootedness between the 2 feet. You have the front heel to back arch alignment. The left front foot is grounded and rooting down. The right back foot is also grounded and rooting down. Hands are at a T. Couple more breaths here. And then we'll flow. Inhale. Exhale, reach forward into extended side angle. Inhale, center. Exhale, back. Inhale, center. Exhale, back, or forward, sorry. Inhale, center. Exhale, back. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward. Inhale, center. Exhale, back. We'll do a few more, continuing to breathe. Always inhale, backs to center. One more round. Inhale. Exhale forward. Inhale to center. Exhale back. Inhale to center. And exhale forward. Framing the front foot. Step the left foot back into a plank pose. Lowering all the way down. And then vinyasa of your choice. Maybe it's baby cobra, or locust. up dog if you know it. From wherever you are, meet in a devotional pose. Knees wide, feet together, arms extend forward. Take a couple grounding breaths here. If you need a sip of water, now's a good time. Coming up to tabletop, hands down, tucking toes, take an inhale, and exhale back into downward facing dog. From here, we'll continue to flow. Inhale the right leg towards the sky. Exhale, bring forward knee to nose. Keeping toes lifted. Inhale, foot to the sky. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale towards the sky. Exhale, right knee towards left elbow, coming under a twist. Inhale up. Maybe you didn't quite see that. Maybe we'll do it again. Right leg's lifted. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Maybe you can't quite touch, but we're going to work towards it. Inhale towards the sky. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, twisting. Inhaling up. And exhale, stepping the right foot through the hands into a lunge. Inhale into a crescent lunge. Again, feet in separate lanes. Hips squared towards the front of the mat. And so from here, we'll exhale, cactus dip, bring the left foot down. Inhale up. Exhale, dip. Inhale up. Exhale, dip. Inhale up. Exhale, dip. Last one. Inhale up. And then this time we're going to twist both feet open, coming towards the long edge of your mat. So you'll be facing the side of the room. Maybe I'm off towards your right side. But now our legs are wide in a straddle. And from here, we'll have both sets of toes, right and left, pointing towards the side edge of our mat. And keeping a small micro bend in the knees. We'll bend forward in a standing straddle forward bend. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands out in front of you, finding a nice stretch here. Again, trying to keep a straight spine. You don't want to curve under. You want it to be strong and straight and engaged. And we can take a moment to go back and forth, bend one knee and then the other, finding a stretch on the inner thigh. Getting some nice dynamic movements. Coming back to center, toes pointing forward. Bring the hands to the hip, and with a straight back, knees slightly bent, coming up to neutral, to standing on an inhale. Pointing the right toes now towards the camera, bending the right knee. Bringing arms into T. Now we're in Virabhadrasana 2. Taking an inhale here and exhale, windmill your hands to front foot, and exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank, and doing the vinyasa of your choice. Exhale down, back bend of your choice, and in downward facing dog. Bring left foot towards the sky. Exhale, steps forward. Inhale into crescent lunge. Again, square, everything is squared, feet are in separate lanes. Exhale and cactus dip here. 1, inhale up. Exhale, dip. Exhale, dip. Last one. Inhale up. And then exhale, opens. Again towards the side of the mat. This time we're going to have heels in, toes out. And we're going to, and you can even bring your feet in a little bit. We'll squat into what's called a goddess squat. If you can, you want your back to be straight, as if you could touch the wall and be totally aligned with it. You can try to float one heel and then the other, maybe both. Play around a little bit. Feel yourself building a little bit of heat. Planting the right foot down, pointing towards the side, bringing the left foot to face the front of the room, bringing arms to T into Virabhadrasana 2. You can inhale here and exhale, windmill to front foot. Step the left foot back, and vinyasa flow of your choice. Meeting in a devotional pose. Knees wide, feet together. Or if you prefer, you can do child's pose, knees in, arms by your side. Taking a few breaths here. Okay, good work everybody. Coming up into a kneeling position, hero's pose. And when we're kneeling like this, there's a couple ways we can sit, and I encourage using a cushion if the top of your foot is hurting at all or your toes. You can put the cushion under your feet like that. That'll help cushion the contact with the floor, or maybe there's pressure on the back of your heels, in which case you can put the cushion like this. I commonly will meditate like that. You can roll up your mat or use a towel. All of those are options. If you don't have them right now, that could be something to consider trying to have in future classes, maybe a towel or something like that. But it's not totally necessary. So from here, we'll find a neck stretch. So sit in hero's pose. We can also sit in a chair if that's more comfortable for you. Bringing the left hand towards the ground. I like to put the right hand at the belly button. And then bringing the right ear towards the right shoulder. Keeping both shoulders melting down towards the earth. And then find that stretch that's right for you on the left side of the neck. Inhale, bringing head back to center. And then switching sides. Bringing the right hand down towards the earth. Left hand to belly button. Inhale and exhale. Melt the left ear towards the left shoulder. Finding a nice neck stretch on the right side of the neck. Move your head back and forth a little bit to find that proper stretch. Where does it work best for you? Then inhaling back, head back towards center, towards neutral. Kick the shoulders out a little bit. We'll find a stretch in eagle arms. So beginning with the left arm, we'll bring the left arm across. Again, we'll approach this in layers. Bring the right arm underneath, and we can just pull it across like this. Simple stretch right here. Stretching out the left shoulder blade. If it's accessible, you can. Oops, sorry about that. Leo's on the team right now. Done. Bringing left arm across, and then bringing hands together if it's accessible. Pushing your elbows forward, finding a stretch in the left shoulder blade. Then exhale to release. Bringing the right arm across now, left arm underneath. Find a stretch in the right shoulder and right shoulder blade here. If it's accessible, you can bring the right arm up towards the sky. Left arm can meet on the wrist or maybe all the way to the palm. Finding a stretch here. I like to inch the elbows forward, up and down, exploring the stretch in the shoulder blade. Exhale, release. Shake the shoulders out a little bit. Bring the legs now out in front of you. This is a good place where you can use a cushion or a towel or fold your mat up to elevate your hips just a little bit so that they're even. A lot of times our hips are very tight, so it's hard to get them kind of seated even. So that can often help. This time, we'll bring the right foot out. We'll start with the left foot because Leo's in the way. Bring the left foot out, right foot into the hip. And this time when we bend, we're going to bend from, we're going to start with the side bend. So we'll have the left arm going out over the left leg and right arm up towards the ceiling. And your gaze can be down at the floor or under your arm, but keeping the core engaged here. Again, taking a few breaths here. Should be a stretch in your right side body as well as a stretch in your left hamstring. And then exhaling, twisting over so that your shoulders are square with your extended leg. And then finding a concentrated hamstring stretch here. Try to keep your back straight as much as you can. A small micro bend in the extended left leg. Using hands to walk yourself back up, spine straight, switching sides. Extending your right leg long now, tucking your left foot in towards your hip. We'll do that same sort of side bend here. Inching the right arm over the left leg and bringing the right arm over right leg and bringing the left arm overhead. Gaze can be down or up. Remembering to breathe here. This can be pretty intense because there's a lot going on. We have the left side body stretch. We're using our core to hold ourselves up. And then we have a hamstring stretch. So remembering to breathe. See if you can find a sense of ease even while it's intense. And then exhaling, squaring the shoulders towards that extended right leg. Keeping a small micro bend in the right foot. spine is as straight as you can. Again, you can imagine a string pulling the crown of your head up in a natural line through the spine. Some breaths here. And then using the hands to walk yourself back up. And then bringing both legs now out in front. You can have both legs in front of you. I like to start with a generous bend in the knees. It kind of works better for my body. And then inhale with a straight spine and exhale, folding forward. You can walk your hands along with you and then slowly extend your legs and balls your feet towards or away from the rest of your body. Taking some breaths here. Spine straight. I like to imagine that I'm holding a peach under my chin. My neck's not crunched down. It's not opened back up. Leo got a new ball today, and it's stuck under the couch, and he's very excited for it. We'll get it in a second. But focus on your stretch your hamstrings. Taking a couple more breaths here. And then slowly walking yourself up. And then from here, we'll lower into onto our backs. We'll go through boat pose. This is another time where you have the option to get a little more core work if you so desire, or just lower straight down. So we'll start by putting the arms under the knees, floating the legs, perhaps one leg and then the other leg. One leg and then the other. Perhaps you float both. Perhaps you extend the knees. And then lowering down. If you want to do a little extra core work, you can raise up again. Lower, raise up. Lower, raise up. Whenever you're ready, lowering all the way down. Releasing into the earth. We worked hard today. And then bringing both knees in towards the chest, rolling from side to side, taking a little massage of your spine. Take a minute to explore that. You can roll side to side or back and front. And then finally, before we move into Shavasana, you're welcome to do any other poses that you like, maybe happy baby or bridge pose, whatever feels good in your body. Before a final twist, with our final twist, we'll bring hands to T or cactus and bring the knees up towards the body. Inhale and exhale over towards the right side first. Keeping your left shoulder glued down. The right legs are now towards the right side of the body. And your gaze can be towards the right hand, towards the ceiling, or if it's comfortable with your neck, over to the left side, completing the twist. Take some breaths here. Really try to relax into the twist. No need to force anything. When you're ready, and on an inhale with abs engaged, inhale the knees back to center, and then exhale, bring the knees over to the left side this time, Keeping the right shoulder pinned down, the left legs are to the left, gaze can be to the left, ceiling or over towards the right. Taking some breaths here. Feeling grounded. When you're ready, again with core engage, on an inhale, bring the knees back up to center. And then extend the legs long, bringing hands by the side, palms up towards the ceiling. Moving into our final pose, Shavasana. We'll take a few rounds of breath here. I encourage you to close your eyes and just really surrender to the earth. Just feel completely held by the ground below you. Allow any noises or distractions to simply float by like clouds in the sky and just relax into your breath and relax into the earth. Slowly bringing the awareness back into the body, wiggling toes, wiggling fingers. Again, you know where you're going today. You're welcome to spend as much time here as you'd like, resting and relaxing. Or if you're ready, bring motion into wrists and ankles, knees and elbows. Bring your knees in and roll over to one side in a fetal position. Take a few breaths here. And then finally come up to a seated position. Maintain a soft gaze or keep your eyes closed. Really trying to feel rooted and relaxed. So as we move out into our daily lives and the rest of our day, I encourage you to keep a sense of rootedness or a sense of groundedness while you do the rest of the activities. Perhaps it's evening where you are, perhaps it's midday where you are, morning, wherever you are. Try to maintain that sense of groundedness as we re-enter the world. For anyone who is interested, Andrew will be teaching a meditation course tomorrow at the same time. That will be April 7th at 7 p.m. Spain time, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We will be doing, or he will be teaching a body scan meditation. Looking forward to it. I will be there. So the link is in the description of the video, or if you don't see it there, feel free to message me. The Zoom link is there along with the password in the description of the video. And I hope to see you there. But otherwise, I will be back here again on Wednesday, same time, same place. And we will continue to do some other vinyasa flows and continue to cultivate our roots. Thanks again for joining me on this yoga journey. Namaste.